all you wild, lazy cats out there. It's your two favorite uncles. Back here for Cinephellas. I'm Logan Myers. It's my good mate over there.
And I'm Henry Hill, and we are back tonight with an animated feature film, a movie that we both took our sons to go see at the movie theater when it came out. And we've recently had a chance to revisit it now that it's on digital and streaming. And we are back with our review tonight. We're here to talk about Chris Pratt voicing Garfield.
The movie.
Tell my story.
Part of me wants to help him.
No, this is how he learns.
But Garfield's been around for a very long time. Huge fan of the comics when I was a kid. I remember drawing Garfield, and I love the humor, like the adult humor within, the comics and things like that. But this time around, fast forward all these years later, of course, the technology improvements and, of course, animation. They have the brand new film. And, of course, we're picking up with the lazy cat himself, Garfield, voiced by Chris Pratt. Odie, his dog friend, and basically he has an unexpected reunion with his dad, Vic. And the characters get involved in this really risky heist and really sets up the film.
Yeah, much like you, I used to read the comic strip on Sundays. It would be in the newspapers. Back when people read the Sunday paper and everything, I'd grab the comic section and always read Garfield, the Bill Murray Garfield movies with Breckenmeyer. Yeah, those
That's
are what I
it was.
remember.
Breckenmeyer.
Yeah, as John, and then Odie the dog and all that. So yeah, continuing it on here, we're in an animated version, computer animation now, and the effects and everything, the animation looks great on screen. Garfield comes into contact with his long lost father, basically, and finds out that he's Samuel L. Jackson. So that's pretty cool. Basically, he's kind of a ne'er do well. He's kind of a tough guy, a rugged guy who's does some shady things on the side, and basically Garfield's going to go out with them on a heist here, and they're going to do a father and son mission basically together. Although Vic doesn't give Garfield all the details, of course, but they end up going out on this mission, and it's Garfield's used to being an inside cat. He's not used to the outside world, so it's going to lead to a lot of crazy situations for him, and they run across some other animals, and voiced by several notable people. And the cast list was good. I liked all the voice actors here. They got some real good ones. Of course, Chris Pratt, you mentioned. We got Nicholas Hoult, who played John. We have Ving Rhames, Hannah Waddingham. That's right. Brett Goldstein, Roy Kent. I mean, we got a couple Ted Lasso characters there, so that's awesome. But yeah, just a great voice cast and an easy story to digest. It's Garfield being reunited with his dad, who he finds out isn't such a great individual, and he kind of finds out about his history and why he was abandoned as Garfield, and now he lives with a human adult.
Garfield, he's got the pampered life indoor, eating lasagna, being lazy. That's just Garfield. And taken outside of the comfort of his own home out into the streets with his dad, Vic, voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. They're trying to form this relationship. They haven't had one in years, since Garfield moved in with the human and he basically abandoned him. So there's a lot of resentment there, but over the course of the movie, of course, they're rebuilding this relationship and the situation. And that's pretty much the whole point of the movie. Odie, of course, his friend is voiced by Harvey Guillen from What We Do in the Shadows, which is really great. As you're saying, the voice cast. A lot of people in this. Snoop Dogg as well, of course, showing up. And Angus Cloud, before he passed away, a guy from Euphoria. Huge fan of his. And, of course, the A-lister himself, Jeff Foxworthy, voicing Zap Bird in this movie. So there's a ton of people. Hannah Waddingham, as you were saying earlier, playing Jinx. There's a bunch of really great characters in this movie. But I will admit this movie wasn't as funny as I thought it would be. Because when I think of Garfield, I think of silly humor. And, this movie is more of pulling on your heartstrings instead of comedy. But this movie's, I guess, more focused at, the kids watching this.
Yeah, I was expecting a little more humor too. It wasn't as laugh out loud as I was hoping. But yeah, it went for a more serious, heartfelt tone with this. the animation looks great. It reminded me a lot of, the Despicable Me movies being made over at Illumination. So it's that similar animation style here, computer animation. Looks great. There were several parts that were funny. Nolan laughed out loud a couple times with the Roomba that was going, and Garfield was on top of the Roomba. And, it has the same silly situations with Garfield always eating a ton, whatever's in the refrigerator, just, shoveling it in his mouth. So it did have some classic Garfield in it. But yeah, it was definitely not as close to the comics as, some of the other movies, the Bill Murray version and, just the comic strip itself. Chris Pratt was fine, voicing Garfield here. I think Bill Murray sounded more like what I had heard before from Garfield. But they had to hire Chris Pratt for every animated movie, for the past couple of years. So first Mario, and now he takes over Garfield. So kudos to him. He's making money. But overall, I had a fun time with this movie. Was it like blow me away animation, like Pixar level? No, not by any means. Just a fun time, fun way to spend an hour and a half with your kids. And a movie that, for the most part, I recommend. It's nothing that's going to be, truly memorable and one of my favorite animated movies of all time, but, it was serviceable. It was doable.
It was a fun time at the movie theater this past summer. Take your kids in, get some popcorn, snacks, sit back and watch, a good movie with your kids. They'll take something out of this movie. There's lessons to be learned. Definitely focus on more kids than adults, obviously, but kids will have a great time. I really enjoyed the animation in this film. It was a good looking movie. Love the voice cast. I thought they're all great across the board. Some of the writing was a little silly at times. The Garfield movie, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 Garfield hair pieces.
Same score for me, 3.5 out of 5 Odie hair pieces.
So I want to hear from all you wild rascals out there. What did you like about the Garfield movie? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite comic? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. Also check out these old wild hound dogs on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for latest, greatest TV, movie news and reviews.
That's right. And as always, don't forget to check back to this here YouTube channel, where we have been reviewing pretty much every big movie that has came out this summer. Last one we saw was Alien Romulus. Summer's winding down, but September is upon us, and there's several big movies in September, and then October really starts getting into some movies that we're really looking forward to: Joker 2, Terrifier, and getting into the 31 Days of Horror, where we thrive and we live for. So we're going to be reviewing a lot of horror to come. But we'll be back for more animated features too. Wild Robot, which is an animated feature that looks pretty good, towards the end of the month. So we'll be back with another animated feature to review for you wild family movie enthusiasts very soon. And until that time, I'm Uncle Henry Hill.
And I'm Uncle Logan Myers, signing out until the next movie review. Cheers!